Hey everybody, welcome to Skills on Sunday for August 23rd, 2020. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. Alright everybody, today on Skills on Sunday we are going to be looking at the Keen Mind feat. This is a feat like most feats in 5th edition. It's a feat that kind of pulls together pieces of different things that have been in other editions of the game, and then kind of adds a little new flavor to it to tie it all together. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this feat is all about. Okay, in 5th edition, the keen mind, you have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. And you gain the following benefits. So you increase your intelligence score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You always know which way is north. You know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. And you can accurately recall anything you've seen or heard within the past month. Now, in my Thursday night game, our rogue character in that game, Faldor, he is a human variant, so he took Keen Mind as a feat at first level. And with the way he's building his rogue, now that they are 3rd level, he has gone with the Mastermind capability. So the Keen Mind feat plus the Mastermind feature is a really powerful combination that works on this whole theme with the keen mind, and so he doesn't get lost, and he remembers details about conversations and things like that, so that he's kind of the party's at least short-term living, breathing, walking record of what they have done, because he has that keen mind feat. Of course, you know, the in the actual practice in the game, we rely back on looking back at our notes to make sure that the character remembers the things that the DM has said or that the party has done in the past. But we're trying our best to have a little fun with the RP on that as well. All right, as I said, this Keen Mind feature, it looks back to several different elements from other editions of the game. And for that, we're going to go all the way back to the Rules Cyclopedia for original D&D. And I brought us here because there's an element out of this one, which is the navigation skill. And in the Keen Mind feat, you always know which way is north. Now, looking back at the navigation skill, there's like a mapping skill and a navigation skill, and I thought surely one of these would give the character the ability to understand the orientation to true north. It actually doesn't, but it does. The navigation skill does give the character the ability to use, like the sun and the stars or the moon or things like that to understand direction. And in a way, if you think about that, understanding your direction by looking at the stars and the other signs and the sun and the position in the sky, that not only does give you an idea of where north is, but it also kind of gives you an idea of the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. If you're able to tell basically by the position of the celestial celestial bodies. So there's a piece of that, but in that there's nothing that tracks to increasing your intelligence score, and there's nothing that tracks to accurately recalling anything you've seen or heard within the past month. So then we have to look at second edition. And in second edition, there's a ton of different um, proficiencies, as they were called, non-weapon proficiency. So that you have this direction sense here, and that's fairly close to the navigation. And then you actually do have over here a a navigation skill under priest skills. It's also under warrior skills that is available, and it's also available to wizards. Now, much like in the other edition, a direction sense, you would think that that would mean that they would know which way is north. Actually, what it means is it means that the character does not get lost. And by concentrating for 1d6 rounds, character can try to determine the direction a party is headed. And so there still is a chance that they would not know. So doesn't exactly give us that here in second edition. And then if we look at the navigation, they've learned the arts of navigation by studying stars, currents, and watching telltale signs. And it's also interesting that um, in first edition, or in the original D&D, the navigation, it's kind of like just sort of knowing where you are by looking at the stars. And like if you were out in the desert, or if you were in a vast, if you imagine somehow getting, dragged out before there was any kind of GPS or development or anything like that, getting dragged out into the middle of some place like, you know, uh, Kansas, where it's all just this big prairie that stretches all the way from Texas to the Dakotas, and it's just this sea of flat land everywhere. Well, you'd have no idea which direction is which if you didn't have the ability to navigate. But in second edition, they really think of navigation as something um, only for navigation at sea. And I really think, okay, kind of, that really ought to be something that you use to figure out where you are, in unfamiliar territory on the ground as well. Yeah, and it's the same thing like if you were dropped out in the middle of a jungle, or if you were dropped out in the middle of a desert, you would have no idea where you were, and you would need to use celestial navigation to figure out which direction to go, or knowing, oh, the sunrise is over there, so that's the east, so that must mean that you know uh, this way is north. All right, well, that is going to do it for our look at the Keen Mind feat. If you like what we're doing here on this channel, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video, hit the post notification bell so that you are notified every time new content drops on the channel. Also, if you have used the Keen Mind feat, or if you have somebody in your D&D game that uses the Keen Mind feat, and there's been any kind of really interesting pieces about it, like I said, the most interesting thing so far in our game is combining the Keen Mind feat with the Mastermind, and being able to use some of the abilities out of there. So, some of the things that he gets out of that feature for his rogue, it gives you some nice synergy, if you will, between those. Would love to see your experience with this, so go ahead and leave that down in the comments. In the description of the video below, you will find how to follow me on social media. You'll find all about where my live streams are on my Twitch channel. And then, of course, you can look through the archives of all the videos that I've uploaded here on YouTube. And we really appreciate everyone who subscribed and followed. And with that, I am going to go ahead and bid you a good night. Everybody take care, be well, and we will talk to you later. Good night, everybody.